to another review. But just before we get into the review, I'd like to quickly say another thank you to those who have subscribed, those who've listened to my tunes, my songs. I know a lot of people discovered me through Boris T's video that he'd done on the band like reviews, I guess. I don't know, like, I sent him my song and he reviewed it, so that's, I'm guessing a lot of you found me through that, which is awesome. I'm glad that you decided to sub and that you enjoyed the tunes, and I just want to talk a little bit about Valhexen and the plans I have for it just before I review Incantation, which is a great band in itself. So with Valhexen, I started this project about a year ago. Actually, no, I think it's probably more closer to about a year and a half, perhaps longer or a bit less. I'm not too sure. But before I started Valhexen, I did make music when I was in college and when I was in high school. Mostly stuff that is kind of more related to, films and games and stuff. And I'm glad that people kind of pointed out that it kind of, Valhexen at least, there are, what did he say, RPG black metal. I actually like that. It shows that what I did before correlates to what I'm doing now, and I'm glad that people enjoy it. To be fair, I definitely wouldn't say that I'm anywhere near to be a great musician or professional or anything like that. I kind of just do this stuff for fun. I don't have any kind of theory knowledge. I have pretty much the most basic equipment. I just have some fun with it, and it's so happy. I mean, it's very nice to see that people like it. It's always good that people can appreciate something that you make. But with the project itself and going forwards, so the plan is, I think I probably need to finish another 2 to 3 songs, perhaps. Most songs, I believe now that I'm more leaning towards keeping most of them instrumental and adding vocals, perhaps for a few. Mostly the black and death metal songs I want to add vocals for. The symphonic black metal songs, I probably won't add any vocals to them necessarily. I'm not too sure, this could change, but this is just what I'm thinking now. A lot of people seem to like the symphonic black metal stuff that I do, and in kind of keeping with that video game-esque feeling, I probably will tend to keep those tracks non-vocalized. But in black and death metal, I feel like when I have the symphonic songs, it is enough. I think black and death metal songs, like, there's not as much going on, so I think vocals would fit it much better compared to with the symphonic stuff. There's already a lot of stuff going on, so I wouldn't want to over dilute it. I wouldn't want to make it terrible. But again, this is saying that I remember I'm not somebody with any kind of professional experience in making music. I literally just do it for fun, and now that people like it, I think that possibly it could go somewhere. So this project, hopefully it will be finished by January or February, and I will release the album probably on like Bandcamp or something. If anybody would like to purchase it, of course, it would be great if somebody did. I've never sold any of the old music I made before. I've never sold any music that I've made before. I just said that twice. But I've always aspired to be kind of more involved in the music industry. It's just something that is perhaps not so easy, and obviously with time, I'm pretty much a normal guy, 9 to 5 job. So it is a little bit hard to always find the time to do creative things, but I'm trying to get more, let's say, disciplined with that. So yeah, that's the project of Valhexen. It's just a bit of fun for now, at least, and we'll see where it goes. But to real musicians and actual proper bands that are making money and music, Incantation. Incantation is a band I have seen once live. Uh, Great fucking performance from what I remember. Like I said, it was Metal Days this year that I saw them. Um, yeah, it was excellent. It was along with like bands like the Varza. I think was playing on the same night, and it was like the black metal night. And I think that last day was. Oh, I think they were playing the second to last day. I don't think they were playing on the exact last day, but I know they were playing like the second to last day. But it was a great performance, and I have listened to quite a few Incantation albums. Usually the older ones, like what is the album, like The Road to Golgotha or something like this, was pretty sick album. They have like an album, something Inquisition, I think, which was pretty sick as well. But generally, great death metal. I don't think I've reviewed any death metal bands on my channel yet, so I think this could be a good start. From what I saw, this song came out. This song came out like 4 months ago, so I'm not sure if this is a new release from Incantation or if this is something that is kind of old. I'm pretty terrible at keeping up to date with bands and the releases. I'm pretty terrible in general. Anyway, but without further ado, since I've talked so much through this intro, I think the only way to judge if this will be a good song is by listening. So let's get on with it. sweet. You know what? You know what? Death metal. Death metal and black metal, like I said before, probably many times, are two of my favorite genres of metal music. Pretty much. Like I like pretty much most types of metal, but the thing is, with black and death metal, and not black and death metal, with black and death metal, I don't know. Like there is definitely a separation of those two, like being like the king and the queen of the metal genre for me, and all the other metal genres kind of varying between being like nobles and peasants, basically. Like probably a weird analogy or a grading system, but that's kind of how it works for me in my strange brain. Um, Death metal, man, it's just, well, perhaps not all death metal, but at least Incantation for sure. Like they fucking shred, man. Like I really just love it, man. Like the time changes, the fucking brutality, the speed, just like again, I don't really have to say much about this. It's just Incantation, death metal at its, perhaps not at its finest, but fucking death metal that is definitely brutal enough to get me to headbang. And I think that's the thing about death metal in general, is that it can get me to headbang, and I think with music, it's about this feeling. I think I've talked about this feeling a long time, all the time, and every time I try to explain, like when I listen to music, people always like, what the fuck are you talking about? But like I said before, like symphonic black metal is more like this majestic, dark king feeling that you get. Like when you listen to it, you just feel this like dark fire. It's like dark power inside of you, right? And it's just like it just rises, right? And then like death metal, it's like you are in battlefield mode. Like I don't know if I'm pretty sure most metalheads can understand what I'm talking about, man. Like when you listen to this, like I listen to this kind of shit in the gym, and like I can almost lift. Well, at least I feel like I can pretty much lift the world when I have some pretty decent black metal or pretty decent death metal playing. Like this song, I probably will add to my gym lifting list. I like this song. I would surely give it like a 8 out of 10. Just because it's Incantation, you know, like most of the stuff I can listen to for Incantation. And again, every genre has its own defining features for me to what I rate it. It's like death metal. Typically, you know, I don't listen to death metal when I'm at home on my own or something. Usually I listen to black metal, but if I'm at the gym or something like that, or I'm going out and about and I have headphones on, I don't know why, but death metal or thrash metal sometimes is more on my playlist compared to if I'm like at home by myself. You know, it's typically black metal. Incantation, again, I would say a band that's been going on for fucking how many years? I feel like it's definitely more than 10 years, right? Very old school band, very, wait, no way, it's like, surely been going for like 20 years almost or something like that. It's been quite a long time. My history of bands and the time frame is probably way off, I'm not too sure. And I'm not going to make the video too longer than necessary, but as to say, Pest, Savagery, pretty brutal, decent song. I'm not too sure if this is for an upcoming album or anything like that, or if the album's out. I have no idea, just because I don't really keep up to date with the latest music, and also because I listen to way too much music, which is probably a bad thing of me. So I will probably at some point check out what album this is from and see what it's saying. And I think pretty much, yeah, the brutal shredding death metal, you know. I'm gonna change my rating for this. I'm gonna change it because I have to keep true. I have to keep some kind of rules in place for the rating. You know, I have been notorious for giving things ratings, which sometimes it's like what. So although I did like this song, I think it's very brutal, fast and heavy, and I could probably lift the world while listening to this in the gym. Again, it's all about personal taste and song preferences. You know, like I've listened to Incantation songs before that I preferred over this, but to say again that this is not a bad song, this is actually a pretty good song. So I want to give it like a 7.5 because even though I didn't really want to give things half, I think that this is not a 7, like it goes a little bit beyond, but to get to an 8, I don't know, I think it needs a little bit more work. Again, this is coming from somebody who absolutely is not any kind of professional musician or musically trained in any way. So this is just personal preference, and taste, and opinion. But I'll leave that there for now. I think I've gone long enough. Hopefully this video is not longer than 15 minutes. And again, if you like the video, please do like it at least. You don't need to sub, but if you did enjoy something, just like it, because yeah, it's always good for me and continues my journey into the YouTube realm. But that's gonna be it, guys, and probably next video will be a song. To be fair, I am currently working on another track. I have no idea if it's going to be symphonic or death metal. I'll just see where the music leads me, and then you will find out when I upload it. So that's all for now, guys, and take care.